Hello there, legends, and welcome. On tonight's video, we're going to have a quick look at the aircraft carriers, a bit of a tips and tricks. We're going to do the Russians first, Serov, Tier 5. I'm not going to do too many Tier 7s to start with because a lot of people will not have as many 7s, and I'm trying to put out some videos on which carrier type you might like as a player. And threes, there's no point doing the threes because you don't get their special things like the abilities at tier 3, whereas like Cyril, for example, has got skip bombers. You don't get to use them at tier 3, so the first time you can try them is on the tier 5 Cyril. So we'll look at the tier 5s. So the first one we're going to look at is the upgrades. So I've got aircraft restoration time to try and keep those planes going. The Cyril's quite quick at getting planes in the air and then reloading and get more planes in the air. Secondary battery range, don't need to use that. Not really anyway. Can if you want. Then AA guns firing range. No, it's not. Yeah, firing range, sorry. And that's just for when the other aircraft carrier starts coming in to bomb you. Some aircraft carriers on the red team will want to go for you straight away. Others will leave you alone until they have to go for you. So the other one is secondary battery, don't worry about that. You could go for the bomber's HP and the torpedo bomber's HP. I tend to get targeted in the Serov a lot. The aircraft carrier on the other team seems to want to take the Russians out a lot more than others, so I think you could run either one. I just prefer having that extra AA coverage over 3% extra on HP. It's not going to make a massive difference to your planes going down or staying alive. Loadout, nothing to see there really. Just camo, flags, boosters. Your stats, it's an aircraft carrier. You don't need to worry about your stats really too much. You just want to get your planes in the air, drop your bombs. You can pause the video now if you want to have a look at the speeds and the bomb damage and fire setting chances. They do drop their entire squadron in one run. They don't drop in 2s or 3s like other aircraft carriers. They drop all 6. And then you go back to your ship and get the next ones in the air. They are quite quick. You can bout feed aircraft in the Russians. It's really good. But at the same time, they're very, very weak planes. You don't want to go and just kamikaze into a bunch of ships and get them all ripped apart with their AA. You still need to save your aircraft as much as you can, because you can't pre-drop like you can on other aircraft carriers. And pre-dropping is just where you drop one of your squadrons so they can go back to ship, and then you'll go out with an attack size of about 4, for example. And there's less chance of you being deplaned, which is towards the end of the game where you've got really no planes to put in the air. You need to make sure you've got those planes in the air right at the end of the game, because that's when you're going to do the most damage. This game that I'm going to commentate over in a moment, it's a very weird game. It's not your standard aircraft carrier game. I can't really go after destroyers like I would want to do. It's a clutch game. It comes right down to the final seconds. You'll see when we get into it. There's some good teachable moments in it. Things that I did wrong, things that I could have done better, reasons to why I was maybe not going after a destroyer and prioritizing a battleship. But yeah, we'll go through that in the video. Armor, not really any armor. You're going to get smacked around if you're spotted. That's it. Skip bombers. There's slow timing on the torpedoes. It takes a long time for them to arm, so you've got to drop your torpedoes from a long way out. And they're not very fast torpedoes either, if I remember rightly. 41 knots. They're average-ish, but you've still got to drop them a long way off. It's hard to hit. If you play a lot of carriers, different carriers, you've got to get used to the timings. So if you don't play this one all the time, it's hard to get your muscle memory back for your timings on your torpedo drops. But I play all the aircraft carriers. I don't just stay on one sort of thing. So what we'll do now is we'll pop into the gameplay that I've got. and we'll have a bit of a laugh, probably at my expense, because it's a bit of a strange game, and I make some bad drops. I also get a little bit unlucky with some RNG. Everybody blames RNG. You get good RNG as well, but nobody seems to speak about the good RNG you get. It's only when it doesn't work in your favour. So yeah, we'll head on over now into the gameplay, and I'll see you there. Okay guys, we're going to hit the ground running here. I didn't have to start the video where I usually check the map, check for the other ships on our team, on their team. So we see some dive bombers coming in straight away. So I drop a fighter sort of in between where his dive bombers are and our destroyer. I try and protect the destroyers as much as possible with fighters, because a good aircraft carrier will go for those destroyers straight away. So as I'm skating, I usually go straight across the map and try and spot as much up as possible, but this Southern Dragon is pushing really hard, and I'm caught in his AA. If I wasn't caught in his AA, I might have left him to carry on trying to find the destroyers, but yeah, he's contesting A quite quickly, so we'll drop a quick load of bombs on him. I only got 2 to land, not a very good job, to be honest. As you can see, my fighters took out 2 of the planes, and my aircraft carrier took 4 of the planes out. So I'm kind of thinking now, who do I go for? To get to the destroyer, I've got to go through the Southern Dragon's AA anyway. You can see there's a plane up as well. I'm not sure if that's the Southern Dragons or the aircraft carriers. But I'm going to push the Southern Dragon to try and dissuade him from going into A. We're keeping him lit up. He's overextended, to be honest. Sorry, Ghost, but you're going to get shot at by everything there. So I'm just cycling my planes as quick as possible, try and get as many planes into the air and as many torpedoes and bombs on target, because he's in the cap, so we want to reset that cap. Looking at the map, you can see the aircraft carriers are ringed by our destroyer. I can't drop planes here because this Southern Dragon will take out the fighters too quickly. So I'm another quick drop, not the best angle, but we just nip him a little bit of his half left and finish that off. I don't tend to sit by the islands too much, but because they push so hard, I can't move across the map like I usually do, because I get spotted and then shot at, so I need to wait. Now the Southern Dragon's gone, I can start moving my aircraft carrier across the map, trying to be a bit more central. So the destroyer now is pushing quite hard. I'm just going to do some zoning torps. It's quite hard to hit destroyers with your torpedoes on the Russians. You can do it, but a good DD will dodge your torpedoes quite easily. So I'm just trying to keep them lit up for our team to shoot at. And the more torpedoes and bombs I get thrown at him, the more he's got to dodge me and not worry about somebody else who can actually do some real damage to him. So he's just starting to smoke up, so I'm going to drop my bombs. Not a bad drop. Not a bad drop at all there. Only got 3 on target, but took a fair bit of his alpha off. So he's getting pretty damn close to my aircraft carrier. He's actually shooting my planes before I even get him off the deck. So we need to get him gone ASAP. So we're going to try and finish him off here. He's going to be our target to hit. We're blowing fire. We know roughly where he was. And we get him. So bit of lucky RNG there as well. Yeah, so he's gone. So a lot happened in that first 4 minutes. A has now been pretty much secured. We had a lot to do. We cycled through a lot of planes. Planes are looking quite healthy. I've got 6 in the air of torpedoes, 5 on the deck. I've still got 12 HE bombers. So I've not really lost too many planes at the moment. So now I'm just hanging around by our destroyer to see if I can drop some fighters down for him, give him a bit of cover. Ismail out in the open, on his own. I could go into B probably and have a look at that destroyer, but Ismail's quite a powerful ship at this tier. I could do some real damage to him if I can get these torpedoes to land. And I don't like going after destroyers with torpedo bombers really. So we got 6 to land there, knowing that I've got my HE bombers ready. I didn't get any floods on him, so I should really be going into B here and trying to find this destroyer. if you look at the map, we've not actually got many people that can get shots on the destroyer AD. So all I'm doing here is quickly having a look at the map, relocating my ship to try and stay away from this destroyer because he's actually able to spot me at the moment. So I need to sort of move away from him. His AA is doing a pretty good job. I'm trying to get an angle on him here. So I think he does pull away a little bit. And I'm pretty sure this is not a very good drop either. I think I send most of these over the top of him. He starts turning in right in the last second. Not too bad, 3. Considering he was turning into that wasn't too bad a drop. We got a fire on him, so he's probably using his damage con. He has used his damage con. So we're going to go straight at him again. We're hoping that somebody's going to start firing at him. You got to remember, my planes are on the way back from that destroyer, and now I'm already halfway back to him again. So it's not been that long a time where he's not been spotted for. But we just haven't really got anybody in the centre of the map to be able to fire at him, so it's kind of down to me to try and get rid of this destroyer. I'm sort of guessing where he is based on his AA. Just trying to wait as long as possible to see what he does, but he is moving around quite well. So we completely miss him there. Good dodging on his part. So, looking at the map, I can see our destroyer starting to move into B to contest it, which is a good sign. But we are losing ships, and we are 7 minutes into the game with 5 ships down. Our destroyer is opening up on their destroyer. He's in smoke. Torpedo bombers, Russians, I can drop into smoke. I'm happy to do that. You can cover a large area with your torpedoes. So I'm just going to get some zoning torps into his smoke. It might push him out, it might get a hit. So I try and keep the cone over the spread of the smoke. So I'll drop a little bit early before the reticle comes right down to narrow. Give myself a bit of a better chance at hitting the destroyer. So I can see that there's a destroyer on the top side of C. I probably should have gone over to him and give our cruisers a bit of help. But I'm also trying to look after our only destroyer left in the game. So I'm going to start moving up over towards A to try and get myself a little bit closer to the battle island cover, and I'm also close to the cap to defend it if I need to. I've got a feeling that other destroyer that was in B might try and come over to A to get a cap on that. But again, we're just looking after our destroyer a little bit, dropping some planes. We'll go and have a see if we can spot up this destroyer if he's come out of his smoke. No AA yet. Still no AA. So he's either turned his AA off. No, he hasn't. He has come out of the smoke, so we should get a spot here. And he's turned quite nicely for me to get a drop off. So I'll have a quick look at this, and probably too early, those bombs. Too early. He's got very little health left. So yeah. As you can see, not very good much help at all. If that was a better drop, he would have been gone, so pretty poor drop on my part there. So our gate has still got a contest with that destroyer. You've still got a few fighters over the top of the gate. I think the gate actually takes him out. Yeah, he does. So that's good on the gate. The gate actually plays a pretty good game in this. Right to the end, and he just gets hounded by the aircraft carrier. There's not really anything he could do there. So I'm trying to cover him as much as possible with my fighters. So we've got 2 battleships left. One is the Ismail. The other one's there over sea, and he's gone. Now nice to the over. Some torpedoes that he launched before he died. I've got a flesh wound medal. So I'm going to go and have a look at his Ismail because again I've got torpedo bombers. Don't like dropping torps out on destroyers really. I could have gone and lit him up, but our destroyer is pretty busy at the moment with the aircraft carriers, torpedo bombers. So we're going to see what we can do to this Ismail. I don't tend to watch my bombs once they've dropped. I'll try and get my planes in the air as quick as possible. I'm now just looking at the map again, see where I can go. So we only got 3. I think I led in too much. If I did watch to see where the torpedoes went, I suppose you could correct it a bit easier, but I'm trying to cycle the plane so quickly because We've got 2 ships left against their 3. The gate's getting totally picked on by the aircraft carrier, so again I'm trying to make my way over there. I've got 1 group of fighters left on my torpedo bombers. I'm just telling him here now to try and get back and save his health, because he's the only one that's going to be getting shot at by the entire enemy team, because nobody can see me. The aircraft carrier on their team's doing a great job keeping him lit up, so he's in a bit of a sticky situation. I don't know if he's got his smokes on cooldown, but the destroyer's quite close to him as well, so he's in a bit of a pickle there. So yeah, we'll go another go at this Ismail on my torpedo bombers. See how we get on with that drop. I think he was slightly starting to turn in. I think we get a good few hits on this one. So now we're going to go and try and go over and out with this destroyer. Yeah, 6 hits, 2 floods. I think it's a perma flood as well. No, he's used it. He's damage conned it already. He's damage conned quite a lot of my drops, so he's probably got no damage cons left. But yeah, we're going to go over now, have a quick look at this destroyer, see if we can help out the Gade. Slow start to this game. Like I said, it's a bit of a hectic game. Didn't get much chance to just have a rest and see what's going on. It was just constantly get the planes in the air, go do this, go do that. So yeah, the Gade's smoking, but I'm pretty sure he gets claimed to the air and that's him done. The other destroyer definitely does well. So we'll drop some turrets. Pretty sure that's going to be too soon. Yeah, all of them went over top of him. So another bad drop. You want to be dropping that first line straight on top of the destroyer for him to land and not bounce over. It's a lot easier than I'm making out, to be honest. It's just a bad drop on my part, that is. You've also got a limited window to drop your bombs. So if the destroyer starts wiggling and moving and things like that, he's going to put your aim off. You're going to have to keep an eye on your timer to see how long left you've got on your bomb drop, because if you run out of time, your bomber's going to go back up in the air and you have to try again. So Ismail's pushing me, so I'm going to try and at least get some defended ribbons here and stop him from coming into cap, because at the moment we're up on points. 2.5 minutes left of the game. Now the aircraft carrier is starting to come towards me. I can't get my planes in the air yet, as you see, because my fighter has gone off from the decks. You've got to wait for your fighter to go off the deck when there's enemy planes coming in. So we got the kill on the Ismail, which was nice. So we've still got 2 caps. So my next threat is going to be the destroyer. He's already in B capping. So instead of going to the back of the map, I'm going to send my aircraft carrier straight at him. Now, some might say that's not a very wise move because we are up on points. But I've got a lot of planes left. I can get a lot of rounds in on this guy in the 1.5 minutes. So we spot him there. So I'll keep the camera on him, fly away, try and keep an eye on where he's turning. So I think he's turning, so I start turning left, but no, he starts turning out. So I turn back round so I can come in at his side. I know roughly where he is, so I'm going to pre-drop. And there he is, pop straight up, exactly where I want him to be. He's turning away again, so he's doing well to avoid. Time is nearly out. Bombs over the top of him again. So fair play to that destroyer. He's making my life really hard. My aircraft carrier is now spotted, so I'm only within about 9 kilometers of the Canapney. So we can start aiming with guns. His torpedoes, I don't think they're that long a range. I'm not worried about his torpedoes at the moment. So I'm going to quickly drop some torpedoes, and these are really just to give him something to be busy with. Well, instead of shooting me, he's concentrating on the torpedoes to dodge, and while he's concentrating on those torpedoes, I get my skip bombers in the air, which are going to do the real damage. And I actually get close to getting him with one of the torpedoes, so another good dodge by him. Now I've got HE bombers straight on top of him. I drop early. Nice. A fire, which doesn't matter, and we got the destroyed on it. We're near up to 4 kills, 15 seconds left. We're up by 200 odd points. 300 points actually. 8 seconds, nothing else we can do. So, GG. Bit of a strange game. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and share if you did. Leave some comments if you didn't like anything. I can try to improve on the next video. I'm still pretty new to this, so I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next one.